Group, good morning. Since we are not knowing then when the school will open, I think I should start with inverse trigonometry. Okay. Now, you know that function f from minus pi by 2 to minus 1 to 1 defined by fx equals to sin x is 1 1 and on 2, so it's invertible. Now, since this is invertible, so you have a function g from minus 1 to 1 from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 defined by gx as sine inverse x. So this function is again 1 1 on 2, so you have gx is sine inverse x. This is inverse of fx such that we have f o g of x equals to f of gx equals to sine of sine inverse x, that is x. So here gx is sine inverse x. Mind it, sine inverse x would not be confused by sin x is to power minus 1. This is 1 upon sin x. No, this is totally incorrect. So you have sine inverse x is not equal to sin x is power minus 1 is 1 upon sin x. I mean to say this will never hold, so I put the cross here. So you have sine inverse of x is not equal to sin x minus 1 is 1 upon sin x. This can't be possible. So you have inverse trigonometric functions. You have domain and range. Now, here function will be like this. We have sine inverse x, cos inverse x, tan inverse x, cosec inverse x, sec inverse x, cot inverse x are known as inverse trigonometric functions. So you have sine inverse x, cos inverse x, tan inverse x, cosec inverse x, sec inverse x, and cot inverse x. Now in these functions, domain will be given to you. There's not such a problem. Only thing you have to remember is range or principal value. Now range here is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So you have to learn very thoroughly that range or the principal value of sine inverse x is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. For cos inverse x, it's 0 to pi. Of course, here domain is minus 1 to 1, minus 1 to 1. So you have seen that in sine inverse x, you have domain is minus 1 to 1 and range is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. In cos inverse x, domain is minus 1 to 1, range is 0 to pi. That means when I take the map f from 0 to pi to minus 1 to 1, it's 1 1 and on 2. So you have cos inverse x, range is from 0 to pi. Similarly, tan inverse x, domain is r, range is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. In the same way, you have cosec inverse x. Now for cosec inverse x, you have range is, domain is r minus 1 to 1, and you have the range is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 except 0. Because you know the cosec, there is no values whose cosec is 0. Similarly, in the case of sec inverse x, it's r minus of minus 1 to 1, range sec inverse x is 0 to pi minus pi by 2. Minus pi by 2. And for cot inverse x, domain is r, range is again minus, for cot inverse x, it's 0 to pi. So you should remember this again. For sine inverse x, domain is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. For cos inverse x, domain is, range is, for sine inverse x, range is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. For cos inverse x, range is 0 to pi. For tan inverse x, range is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. For cosec inverse x, range is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 except 0. For sec inverse x, it's 0 to pi minus pi by 2. For cot inverse x, it's open interval 0 to pi. Mind it, closed intervals are only in sine inverse and cos inverse, rest all are open intervals. Also, you can see that here sine inverse x closed, here tan inverse x open. Cos inverse x closed, cot inverse x open. So likewise, you can learn the ranges of the function. I am repeating again, range of sine inverse x is closed interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Range of cos inverse x is closed interval 0 to pi. Range of tan inverse x is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Range of cosec inverse x is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 except 0. And range of sec inverse x is 0 to pi minus pi by 2. Range of cot inverse x is 0 to pi. Now come up with some problems. We have find the value of, see, 1, 2, 3 steps I will tell you, then you can have your answers directly. But in 2, 3 questions I will tell you the steps. Find the value of sine inverse minus 1 by 2. Now you will write let y equals to sine inverse minus 1 by 2. Now according to property of inverse function, sine y is minus 1 by 2. And this is minus sine pi by 6, and this is sine of minus pi by 6. Because sine of minus theta is minus sine theta, so y equals to minus pi by 6, and since this belongs to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, you have sine inverse minus half is minus pi by 6. Second question, find the value of cos inverse minus half. Now again let y equals to cos inverse of minus half. You have cos y equals to minus half. Now this is equals to minus cos pi by 3. Now there are two cases, cos of pi plus theta minus cos theta, cos of pi minus theta minus cos theta. So this will become cos of pi minus pi by 3, because if I take plus, it will exceed the range. So it's 2 pi by 3. So as 2 pi by 3 belongs to 0 pi, so you have cos inverse of minus half is 2 pi by 3. Now, my next example is tan inverse of minus root 3. So, you'll write let y equals to tan inverse of minus root 3. So, you have tan y is minus root 3, and minus root 3 is tan of pi by 3 or pi by 6? It's pi by 3. So you have this is tan of minus pi by 3. Now as minus pi by 3 belongs to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, so you have tan inverse of minus root 3 equals to minus pi by 3. So likewise I can take up 2 more questions, and then you can practice many questions like this on your own, I am sure. Now suppose you want to get the value of say cos inverse minus 1 by root 2. Now let y equals to cos inverse minus 1 by root 2. So you have cos y is minus 1 by root 2. This is minus cos of pi by 4. Again this is cos of pi minus pi by 4, because pi plus pi by 4 will exceed the range. So this is cos of 3 pi by 4. So y equals to 3 pi by 4 belongs to 0 pi. So cos inverse minus 1 by root 2 is 3 pi by 4. Now again the next question comes, find the value of cosec inverse, this is 4, this is 1, cosec inverse 2. Now let y equals to cosec inverse 2. This means cosec y equals to 2. Class, please take care of these steps. This means sin y is equals to 1 by 2. This means y equals to cosec y is equals to 2, sin y is 1 by 2, so y equals to pi by 6, which belongs to, you have minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, except 0, which is the range of cosec inverse 6. So cosec inverse 2 is pi by 6. Likewise class, you can attempt many questions. So tomorrow I will take the recap and I will do 2-3 more questions now to make your concept very thorough and perfect. Now the question is, find the value of sine inverse of sine of pi by 5. Sine inverse sine of pi by 5. Now remember always, sine inverse of sine theta is theta only when it lies between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So since this is the range, so sine inverse sine of pi by 5 is pi by 5. Now in the same way, cos inverse cos of you can take cos inverse cos of say 7 pi by 6. Now this is a good problem, so this becomes cos inverse cos of pi plus pi by 6. So this is cos inverse cos of pi plus theta is minus cos theta. But since we have to eradicate this minus, we will again take cos inverse cos of pi minus pi by 6. Please take care, you can't take minus outside from here. This I will tell you, you can do this in sine inverse, tan inverse and cosec inverse. So this becomes cos inverse of cos of 5 pi by 6, and that is 5 pi by 6. So you can see 5 pi by 6 belongs to range. First 5 questions you have written range is fine, then you can write the things directly. Now next, find the value of sine inverse of sine of 3 pi by 5. Now this becomes, now you will see 3 pi by 5 is outside the range, because range is from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So to make it that way, you will write sine inverse of sine of pi minus 2 pi by 5. Now sine of inverse sine of pi minus theta is sine theta. So this is sine inverse of sine of 2 pi by 5. So this is 2 pi by 5. Now obviously that belongs to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 range. So you can write direct answer as 2 pi by 5. Now another question, find the value of tan inverse of tan of 7 pi by 6. This will be tan inverse of tan of pi plus pi by 6. Now what is tan inverse of pi plus theta? It's tan theta only, don't confuse it with minus theta. So it's tan pi by 6, and that is pi by 6. So its value is pi by 6. In the same way, you have find the value of tan inverse of tan of 3 pi by 4. Now 3 pi by 4 doesn't belong to range, so you have to change that way. Tan of pi minus pi by 4. Now tan of phi minus theta is sine of phi minus theta upon cos of phi minus theta. Sine of phi minus theta is sine theta, cos of phi minus theta is minus sine theta. So tan of phi minus theta is minus tan theta. So this is tan inverse of minus tan of pi by 4. You can write tan of pi minus theta is minus tan theta. So that will be tan inverse of tan of minus pi by 4, and that will be minus pi by 4. Since this belongs to range, tan inverse of tan of 3 pi by 4 is minus 5 pi by 4. So plus. So I stop there, and tomorrow I will tell you, or day after tomorrow, I will tell you more questions of this type and start with the properties. Thank you.